You're already dead, so you are of no notice. But the warden here, he is of great interest to me.
I'm listening.
Ferelden is a busy place. Blight, civil war, other mayhem. Lots of people not getting along. Sometimes they really don't get along. Maybe want to do something about it. The people that handle that sort of thing can get real busy.
Go on.
It takes time to do a good job. Pride in your work and all. But customers have expectations. Not many people to turn to if you're short-staffed in some lines of work. So, someone that's crossed our path and lived, well, maybe they could help out. Make some coin. Everyone wins.
If the price is right, I'm interested.
I hand you a scroll. You read it, you learn about someone interesting. If you find out something happens to him, something unfortunate, then if we talk again, I give you money for letting me know. You don't like what's on the scroll, don't do anything. Maybe he has an accident and someone else tells me all about it.
Hand me scrolls.
There you go. Makes for fine reading.
You're a cautious little weasel, Ignacio. What's your angle? If you're playing us false...
My dance is not for you. I need to be real honest sometimes. And I can say I haven't asked anyone to do anything. I've just given someone something interesting to read.
And you think that will save your hide when they nail it to a wall?
You are already dead in my eyes, Horson. Take care that I don't learn otherwise. If that's all, luck be to you.
Horson. Assassinate the target. Scroll directs you against a man named Payden, currently holed up in the Pearl Brother in Denerim. He's working some kind of a scam in the back room. And you should look for one of his Grey Warden posters around the marketplace to gain access. Payden works for low gain and no doubt has backup. Okay.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
Very well.
Rivaini. Now we're in my trolls. Not in the heart of the Imperium nor the streets of Orzammar have I felt so much an outsider as in Rivain. The chant of light never truly reached the ears of these people. The years they spent under the thumb of the Qunari left most of the country's zealous followers of the Qun, but resistance to the chant goes deeper than the Qunari war. The Rivaini refuse to be parted from their seers, wise women who are in fact hedge mages, communicating with the spirits and actually allowing themselves to become possessed. The chanting prohibition against such magical practices violates millennia of local tradition.
Perhaps I could have a try at that. Must you? As you like.
Genitivi's home. Okay. Whale. History of the Chantry, the betrayal of Andraste. It is said that at the Battle of Valerian Fields, Mafrad stood and looked over his armies. He had conquered the southern reaches of the greatest empire the world had ever known, and built splintered barbarian clans into a force to be feared. With pride in his heart, he turned to congratulate his men and felt that they had turned from him. Mafrad fell to the evil of jealousy. After all he had done, his wife was the one to receive all the glory. He saw his wife's power and influence, and tired of his place as second husband below the Maker, his heart swelled with fury. If he had conquered just to have his wife wrestled from him by a forgotten god and a legion of faith-hungry rabble, then perhaps this war was not the trouble, worth the trouble. Here history and chantry come apart. History tells us that Mafrav looked north into the Central Imperium and saw nothing but more war against a rapidly regrouping army, and he despaired. The Chant of Light holds that Mafrad chafed with jealousy of the Maker, and jealousy of the glory Andraste received, although it was he who led the armies. Mafrad traveled to the imperial city of Mirathos to speak with the Archon Hesarian. There he offered up his wife to the Imperium in return for a truce that would end hostilities once and for all. The Archon, eager to put down the voice of the prophet that stirred his people against him, agreed. Mafrad led Andraste into an ambush where she was captured by Imperial agents, putting an end to her exalted march. Crowds of loyalists stood in the central square of Minrathos to watch Andraste's execution. By command of the Archon, she was burned at the stake in what the Imperium believed to be the most painful punishment imaginable. According to the Chantry, however, Andraste was instead purified and made whole by the flames ascending to life uh, at the Maker's side. By all accounts, she was only silence. There was only silence when they expected screams, and the sight of the prophet burning, the crowds were filled with profound guilt, as if they had participated in a great blasphemy. So moving was the moment that the Archon himself drew his sword and thrust it into the prophet's heart, ending her torment and leaving those assembled to consider the weight of what they had seen. Whereas the execution of Andraste was meant to be a symbol of defeat for the faith of the Maker, in truth it all but sealed the fate of the worship of the old gods and paved the way for the spread of the Maker's chant. Okay. Dragon cults. Let us suggest for a moment that the High Dragon is simply an animal, a cunning animal to be sure, but in no possession of true self-awareness or sentience. There has not, after all, been a single recorded case of a dragon attempting to communicate or performing any act that could likewise be attributed to a clever beast. How, then, does one explain the existence of so-called dragon cults throughout history? One cult might be explainable, especially in light of the relevance of the old gods in the ancient Inter-Imperium. In the wake of the First Blight, many desperate Imperial citizens turned to the worship of real dragons to replace the old gods who had failed them. A dragon, after all, was a god figure that they could see. It was there, as real as the archdemon itself, and as evidence makes clear, did offer a degree of protection to its cultists. Other dragon cults could be explained in light of the first. Some cult members might have survived and spread the word. The worship of the old gods was as widespread as the Imperium itself. Certainly such secrets could have made their way into many hands. But there have been reports of dragon cults even in places where the Imperium never touched. Among folk who have never heard of the old gods or had no reason to. How does one explain them? Members of a dragon cult live in the same lair as a high dragon, nurturing and protecting its defenseless young. In exchange, the high dragon seemed to permit those cultists to kill a small number of those young in order to feast on draconic blood. That blood is said to have a number of strange long-term effects, including bestowing greater strength and endurance as well as an increased desire to kill. It may breed insanity as well. Nevaran dragon hunters have said these cultists are incredibly powerful opponents. The changes in the cultists are a form of blood magic, surely, but how did the symbiotic relationship between the cult and the High Dragon form in the first place? How did the cultists know to drink the dragon's blood? How did the High Dragon convince them to care for its young and know that they would? Is there more to draconic intelligence than we have heard to guess that? No member of a dragon cult has ever been taken alive, and what account exists from the days of the Nevarran hunters record only mad rants and impossible tales of godhood. With dragons only recently reappearing and still incredibly rare, we may never know the truth. But the question remains. From Flame and Scale by Blooder Florian Warrior. Where is the door? Okay.
Yes? What are you doing here?
I'm looking for brother Jenny TV.
Brother Genitivi? Why?
And why should I reveal it to you?
I'm Genitivi's assistant, Waylon. Unfortunately, I don't know where he is. I haven't seen Brother Genitivi in weeks. He said no word. It's so unlike him. I'm afraid something has happened. Genitivi's research into the urn may have led him into danger.
Why would that be the case?
Perhaps the urn has been lost for a reason. I pray for Genitivi's safety, but hope dwindles with each passing day. I tried to send help, but some knights came from Redcliffe looking for him not long ago. I sent them after Genitivi, and they too have disappeared.
Where did you send them?
Now don't ask me where they went. You'll go after them. And what if ill luck should befall you too? This search is a curse on all of us. Some things are not meant to be found. I know that now.
By homies you mean black people, Bottle? Or African descended people? Just tell me before I lose my patience.
All right, all right. All he said before he left was that he would be staying at an inn near Lake Calenhard, investigating something in that area.
What exactly was he investigating?
I don't know. All I discovered from going through his research was that he was staying at the inn.
But you just said that He spoke to you and told you that?
Yes, of course he told me, but I also went through his things to see if I could find other clues to his whereabouts.
You sound nervous. Hiding something.
That's not true. I told you everything I know. Brother Genitivi told me about the inn, and that's all.
What's in the inn? Tell me now.
Nothing! I don't know! Bah! Why do I keep up this charade? I gave you a chance to turn aside and forget you ever heard of Genitivi and the urn, but you persisted. Now it has come to this. Andraste, forgive me, I do this in your name.
Okay. The fucking asshole killed himself. And do you think that
It will be done.
Poland discriminates against the homosexuals? These are rather good stuff. Three mana reverb. Okay. One magic, one spell power to cool damage. 4 magic, 6 spell power. Okay, I see. So there is only discrimination against a subsect of homosexuals. Or a subgroup of some homosexuals. I particularly don't have anything against
Yes.
them. The way of the real Wayland. What I do not like Genitivi's research. Amidst ramblings out local legends and ancient trade routes, the one passes stands out. The village of Haven in the Frostback seems a good place to start. PT is not on any maps. Steel symbol of Andraste. Cultist's cowl. Mage scholar robes. Cultist mage robes. Cultist dragon dagger. What I do find rather disturbing are the people that change their sex. That I do find disturbing. Okay. I think it's not better. No, sir. Touring the mages. Chantry hierarchy. I think I already read this. Pretty sure I did. I'm sure. Well, doesn't matter. No, I think it's weird that they insist being called on whatever they become and not what they are. That's what I find strange. A man that has a sex change operation is not a woman. The same
Very
goes in the opposite direction. They are men that look like women or women that look like men. But genetically they are not what they claim to be. And that's all that matters, really. Yeah, debuting. Well, there are people here as well. But that's what I find strange. That they insist on denying their nature. Well, she looks like a rather regular woman. Or was that guy, that bodybuilder became that woman, is what you're saying?
Ah, I have heard that. Even in Antiva.
Wonders of Thedas. What does that even mean? Do they sell geography questions?
I just scrolled down. Is it in the comments or something? Yeah, the ugly woman. On the city of Denerim. When anyone in Ferelden speaks of going to the city, they inevitably mean Denerim. There is no other place in the kingdom which rivals it, not in size, population, wealth, or importance. It is the seat of the Denerim family, a capital of Ferelden, the largest seaport and by ancient tradition the meeting place of the landsmith. As well, Denerim was the birthplace of Andraste, one of them anyway, as several other sites claim to have been the prophet's early home, including Jader in Orlais. The chantry takes no stance on which side claims is valid, but it is well known that Andraste was Ferelden by birth. When visiting the pilgrimage site in Denerim, it was inadvisable to mention Jader at all. The city rests at the foot of the Dragon's Peak, solitary mountain scarred by ancient lava flows. During Andraste's lifetime, it reputedly filled the sky with a great column of black ash and sent burning rock raining down as far as the free marshes. It is now considered extinct. Some believe it merely sleeps and will again darken the sky with ash and fire when the last Ferelden king dies, but that is highly unlikely. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar. The most deranged game, Poland.
Yes, make it quick.
How not hear from your master?
Strange. Let's see this. I knew it. I gave that man the best 7 weeks of my life. Well, I guess he won't have me to push around anymore. Ha!
I cannot switch the fucking party. Let me do that before I forget I need to do it. Why? Why do you hate him so much? Ah, fuck me in the ass. I'll be back in a moment.